My 29 female, fiance, June, 32 male, and I are getting married this month. We've been together for 3 years and are so excited to finally tie the knot. June's younger sister, Jane, is also engaged to her longtime boyfriend, and they are set to wed in January 2023. 2 weeks ago, Jane was diagnosed with stage 2 cervical cancer. She's only 28, and understandably everyone in the family is devastated. Jane and her fiancé visited me in June last weekend and asked us if we can let them have our wedding. Yes, our wedding. That includes the venue, catering, all the vendors, except wedding favors. They want to get married before Jane starts her treatment. She's a good friend of mine, so I didn't hesitate and agreed. June and I have already paid everything in full, except our photographer, and it isn't hard to inform all the guests that the wedding's been moved, as we only had 75 guests, including our families. Jane and her fiancé had already saved for their wedding, so money isn't a problem either. The problem occurred yesterday when Jane called me asking if she could wear my wedding dress and veil, as she can't find a dress that she likes. She was there when I tried my wedding dress after the alterations. I told Jane I'm sorry, but she needs to find her own dress. I told her I can take her to a friend's boutique and help her find a dress that she'll love. She didn't want to, and insisted I let her borrow mine. I reminded her that my dress was my mother's, and the veil is an heirloom that was passed on to my mom by my grandma. Jane was having none of it, and told me I was being selfish. She said she doesn't even know if her treatment will work and that this is only a small favor that she's asking. Needless to say, our phone conversation didn't end well. I told June about it, and he said he respects my decision. My future in-laws, on the other hand, have messaged me, asking to reconsider. I don't want to disappoint them as we have a good relationship, and they are going through something hard right now because of their daughter's illness. But I really don't want to loan my dress and veil to Jane. Edit for more info. My fiancé's family is anti-vax. That's why she didn't get the HPV vaccine. I converted June, but we kept it from his family. My dress is safely kept in my parents' house to those who are worried it might get destroyed. Although I don't think Jane is the kind of person to destroy it. She is kind and a good friend of mine. Lastly, let me clarify that my wedding isn't given to her for free. They are to pay for it. We still haven't decided on a new wedding date though. We'll see how Jane's treatment is going. Second edit. To those who are worried we might not get paid, June had asked his friend, a lawyer, to have everything in writing before Jane and her fiancé can proceed to take over our wedding. Our wedding isn't lavish. We only spent around $18K, mostly due to the venue being expensive. They already paid $12K from their wedding funds. Not the a-hole. That is an heirloom gown, not an off-the-rack purchase that could be altered a bit to suit each of you. Not that that would obligate you. It would just be a slightly less outrageous request. It's intensely personal, utterly unique, and completely irreplaceable. You already gave her your wedding, and now she literally wants the dress off your back? Does she also want the stockings and bustier you bought to wear under it? Jane was having none of it and told me I was being selfish. She said she doesn't even know if her treatment will work, and this is only a small favor that she's asking. Exactly. So she thinks that you should be willing to risk turning your heirloom wedding dress into her funeral shroud, tainted forever by her illness and possibly her death? It's not a small favor. It's huge. Arguably a bigger favor than the wedding itself. She's trying to blackmail you into letting her wear your grandmother's veil and your mother's wedding dress before you get to wear them. Not the a-hole. You already gave her the damn day. The dress and veil are both items saved for you by your family. The dress has already been altered to fit you. Her illness does not give her the rights to your dress and veil. She better find herself a dress soon because it'll probably be your fault if she doesn't have enough time for alterations. I'm already sorry for you and the future BS you are going to have to deal with. Not the a-hole. You have bent over backwards to accommodate Jane. Your dress is a family heirloom, and you are not obligated in any way to share it with her. It sounds like you want to reconcile with Jane and your in-laws. I would invite all of them out to a neutral location, explain the significance of your dress and veil to your family, and offer again to help Jane pick out a dress. If she still refuses, remind her that you've literally given up your entire planned wedding for her, and reiterate that she is not wearing your family heirloom dress. Hopefully, at some point during this conversation, someone will realize that she's being ridiculous. My 32 male, ex-wife, let's call her Cindy, and I got married when we were 19 due to the fact that she was pregnant and we both came from highly religious families. Obviously, the marriage did not work out, and we got a divorce as soon as it was financially reasonable, both in the sense of affording lawyers and such, and being able to afford our lives without our family support. 9 years ago, we weren't really actually together for maybe a full year before that. Although we are not in love, I do love Cindy, and we have remained close friends. Some of it was for the sake of our child, but honestly, we don't just tolerate each other for the sake of the kid. Teenager now. Insane. We're genuinely close friends, and have been for as long as I've known my now fiancé, 30 female, which is a bit over 4 years now. Cindy and my fiance aren't close friends, but I thought they were friendly. We always see Cindy when there's anything to do involving our kid, and she's generally invited to anything that has to do with my high school friend group. She's never complained about Cindy being there. So it felt only natural to invite Cindy to our wedding. She's my friend and the mother of my child. My fiance, however, doesn't seem to agree. She didn't say anything when I added her to the guest list initially, but made a lot of comments over the past week or so about how it was a bit weird to invite my ex-wife, wasn't it? And I told her to stop thinking of it like that, and to think of it as me inviting my close, strictly platonic friend to a very important day to me. I also told her that it was kind of hard to uninvite her at this point, given that the invites have already been sent. I thought that was that, but she told her mother that I was being unreasonable, so now my soon-to-be mother-in-law has sent me a very lengthy message on how rude it is to invite a past love to such an event, and to please let her know the invite was revoked. Because mostly all of my friends know and like Cindy, I think they're biased when they side with me on this. So I'm coming to what's hopefully a more unbiased audience to ask if I'm the a-hole here. Not the a-hole, but you are starting a new life with a new wife, and she is your priority now. If she's not comfortable with it, then you should consider talking to Cindy about not coming. But first I'd be asking your fiance where her line is with you and Cindy's friendship, co-parenting, and make sure her boundaries are ones you can live with. No a-holes. I think it's fair to want the mother of your child, who is a close friend since high school, and who you are still friendly with, to your wedding. It's also fair for your fiancé to want an uncomplicated wedding, and to feel special on her first wedding day, instead of having your family fawn over ex-wife, if they are still on good terms. But you need to talk to your future wife. If you can't resolve this, it doesn't bode well for your joint future. Everyone sucks here. Your fiancé should have been upfront about it earlier. You shouldn't assume that because you have a decent relationship with her that your fiancé will want her at the wedding between you two. She isn't just a friend. She is your ex and your baby's mom. This is supposed to be a special moment between you two. I can understand her not even wanting her in the building because that might distract her from the moment. Yes, the a-hole. I understand she's the mother of your child, but she also used to be your ex-lover. And even though those feelings are nothing but strictly platonic now, I can see how your fiancé would be uncomfortable. Your ex does not need to be involved in everything, especially such an event. Now, do I believe your fiancé should have expressed this discomfort before invitations went out? Yes, of course. It's extremely rude to uninvite someone from a wedding. But now it seems your future wife is not going to be so happy on what's supposed to be one of the happiest days of her life. I, 56 female, invited my son, Eric, 37 male, to come live with me because his wife, 41 female, works shifts with virus patients. I was happy to do it, but he was ungrateful and irritable since the first day. A little background. I supported Eric on my own. I put my own education on hold and worked multiple jobs, so I always tried to be an involved parent. He was gifted, so I fought for him to be put into the best classes, etc. And when he graduated high school, I wanted him to become a doctor. There was no pressure involved. I only told him I would pay for him to go to medical school, but if he had a good alternative in mind, I would consider it. He didn't, and so he went off to med school, graduated, and became a doctor, and I was very proud. The issue is that he doesn't see things the same way. Throughout the years, he's kept whining about how I forced him to be something he doesn't enjoy, and always trying to paint me as the bad guy. Even though I let him live rent-free, paid for extra stuff like therapy, ensured that he has no debt, things other people would kill for. Even the facts contradict him. He has a very well-paid job, friends, he met his current wife at school, etc. Since the wife wasn't here, I decided to bring up some of the concerns I have about her. Among other things, she's tried to get him to cut me off before, but despite her best efforts, I was always able to save our relationship, and he lost it. He started screaming and shouting some really vile aggression because apparently she wants to leave him. I tried to make him see the silver lining and convince him that he could do better than someone like that, but he just flipped on me instead and started on his "you're the reason my life sucks, I hate you, etc. spiel, just generally acting like a child. I wouldn't tolerate aggression like that in my own home, so I kicked him out, and I thought I was completely within my rights to. I just got a phone call from my brother. Eric went there after he left the house, telling me that I'll be lucky if Eric ever speaks to me again. I told him that all I wanted was an apology, and he could come stay here again. But he hung up, and now I'm wondering if I did anything wrong. Am I the a-hole? Yes, the a-hole. You absolutely 100% sound like a narcissist. I'm not even giving you the judgment based on kicking him out. I have a lot of experiences with narcissists, and everything about this language suggests you are one majorly. Get yourself help or continue to alienate your son. There's no other option. Yes, the a-hole. What I'm reading here is all the financial things you threw at him. Yeah, he's a doctor, but he apparently hates it. Sure, you gave him a choice, but it was doctor or maybe. Then you tell him his wife sucks when he's basically on the verge of divorce, at least partially because he refused to cut you off? Wow. You then kick him out because he's ungrateful. Okay. There's clearly a lot here you're not talking about. This entire thing reads like someone who molded their child without any input from said child. Why would the wife want him to cut you off? Generally, it takes a lot for someone to tell their significant other, "Hey, your mom. Maybe we should never talk with her again." By the sounds of it, you gave him the best life you could and supported what he wanted to do without pressure. That's entirely different from, say, you telling him you'd only pay for medical school. You made it clear that alternatives would be considered as well. It sounds like he's having a hard time with his relationship and projecting his feelings about it onto you because you're the nearest and most convenient target. But even if that's the case, you're under no obligation to sit there and take it from him. He's a grown man now, and if he's acting like you ruined his life, you're completely within your rights to not allow him in your living space. Exactly. I only pushed medical school because I knew that was where his talents lay. He loved writing and wanted to do something with that, but I gave his work a chance, and it was mediocre at best. There was no chance of success there, and I only wanted the best for him. His wife has been a constant problem, always policing how I talk to him and making him soft. Apparently, it's not my place to give constructive criticism or be even slightly negative about any of their choices because I'm feeding his anxiety or something. I didn't raise my son up to be crushed under his wife's control, and this is the best thing that could have happened. I guess he's just too emotional to realize it, and I'm not allowing him back until he regains some self-control. I know what you're thinking, and yes, this is as crazy as the title would suggest, and I'm mostly here because I'm understandably too close to the situation. I, 27 female, had a baby with my sisters, Fiona, 32 female, ex-fiancé, Austin, 35 male. We had a drunken one-night stand after finding out that my ex, Mike, 27 male, and Fiona had been sleeping together for about 6 months. Yes, I was feeling insecure at the time. Yes, I wanted to do something hurtful because I was hurt. Yes, I made the choice to drink, which influenced a series of messy choices. However, I wouldn't change anything because I have my beautiful daughter, Lacey, 5 female. When I found out I was pregnant, I cried to Austin apologizing, but he wasn't angry at me and said we'd figure it out. Paternity tests were done as a formality for me since Mike and I hadn't been intimate in a while because he was getting it from my sister. But there was some doubts about Fiona's baby. Turns out that Mike was the father of my nephew, Sam, 5 male. Fiona was pissed because one of the main reasons Austin proposed was because Fiona was pregnant and was trying to use Sam as a way to get him to forgive her. She was also pissed at me because I slept with her fiancé while Mike was just a boyfriend, and that I did it to be hurtful, while Fiona didn't mean to hurt me. Fast forward to now. Fiona and Mike are living together, while Austin and I alternate custody each week. In Fiona's eyes, that somehow makes her better than me, completely ignoring the fact that despite not living together, Austin is a way more involved parent than Mike is. He pays way more than the ordered child support, has taken Lacey to doctor's appointments whether it's on his time or not, calls every night to say goodnight when she's with me, does her hair, took care of her when she was sick, sat in a closet for 2 hours at night because she thought there was a monster, and I could honestly go on. Mike has only ever changed 3 diapers between Sam's birth and being potty trained. He goes to work, comes home to play with Sam for an hour, and then goes to play video games. If Sam is hungry, Mike will either reheat leftovers or get fast food. Doesn't take care of Sam when he's sick because he doesn't want to get sick and miss work, etc. I know this because Fiona complains about it to our other sister who tells me. I just want to stay away from the mess, so I've always bit my tongue and kept my distance. Last week, Austin had a birthday, and I made a post celebrating him and highlighting all the wonderful things he's done as a father. Fiona and I aren't Facebook friends, but she's not blocked, so she can see my posts if she really wants to, and she saw my post about Austin. She complained to our dad and has accused me of rubbing in how much of an involved father her ex is to Lacey, because the more appropriate time to post something like that would be on Father's Day. I can honestly say that that wasn't my first or second thought when I made the post. So, am I the a-hole? Edited to add. I just wanted to make something clear, because people are still confused. 1. Austin is Lacey's father. 2. Austin is not Sam's father. 3. Mike is not Lacey's father. 4. Mike is Sam's father. 5. Through my dad, I have 3 sisters, and Fiona is one of them. 6. Yes, I did take down the post after Fiona blew up over it, so my other sister and dad could have some peace. But it's been a week and she's still raging about it. Not the a-hole. She went peeking through your Facebook and got exactly what she was there for. Ammo to stir the pot. It sounds like she has always been in competition with you. But guess what? When someone tries to pull you into a competition, you are not obligated to attend. block her, and your ex if you haven't already done so, and live your life. For this specific instance, not the a-hole. A birthday is when you tend to talk about what's best about people. Austin being a good father fits. Fiona seems to have one hell of a superiority complex because she keeps trying to win rather than focus on what's best for her son, and that worries me. Holy soap opera, Batman. Not the a-hole. And honestly, this is messy enough without your sister attempting to stir the crap pot because you publicly acknowledged a good man that is being a good man. Not the a-hole. Your sister did something that was hurtful to you, her sister, and then continued to do it. If she doesn't like being called out, then she should have thought things through. What I want to know is, why are you not with Austin? He sounds like a perfect person for you, and he is obviously a really great father. Just because we're good co-parents doesn't mean we'd be good romantic partners for each other. Plus, we decided that the situation was already messed up enough as it was. However, we do make jokes after getting together in our 50s if we're still single.